Welcome to Shambhavi Spectrum. Today, my lovely special guest is Srividya Sridhar, and she's an entrepreneur, a nutrition, a fitness consultant. Her organization is called Healthy You Global. Vidya, thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I really look forward to this conversation. And please tell me more about Healthy You Global, the whole idea. Where did it start? When did it start? Why did it start? Tell me more about it.
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much, Shambhavi, for calling for this session of yours, which is very interesting. Now, coming to Healthy You Global and the title, what I do as a nutrition and a fitness consultant, it all started maybe 4 years ago with a major transformation of mine. I was struggling like any other women at this age of 40 plus, being in a family and a career and other things. My health was never a priority, and not that it was not a priority, I did not get a chance to make it as a priority. So suddenly when I realized that I need to take care, it was way beyond my capacity and I was not able to handle myself. So that is when I realized I need to do something very seriously and work towards getting on track, because once I become healthy, then rest of the things will fall in place. So that is when I started doing some researches and took some help and decided to turn around my health. Every time when we see or when we go and check in Google or any diets, when you want to become healthy, they all come with lot of absence in your own food. That doesn't make people to stick to it, and that happened same with me also. So that is when I decided that there is nothing called bad food. Every food gives something good for you, and we need to know how to balance it and how to make your journey sustainable. By making it sustainable, you can make it as a lifestyle as well. So that is when I decided to study and certify and train myself as a nutrition and a fitness consultant. So both go together. And when it always starts with you, it always starts with us. That is why I decided to make it as Healthy You Global. Global, I added to just give a good presence of where I can work globally. So that is the short story of how I became an entrepreneur and how Healthy You Global came into picture.
That is great. And so, what made you choose the brand name? You said is because of what you were offering. Is that the reason why you chose it? And tell me more about your logo also, which I will share later on in the description and the link to your website. But please do tell me more about your branding and about your logo. How did you come about it?
When we were brainstorming on what kind of a name to choose, I wanted something to be personal to the person who is experiencing the journey. So I wanted the element of you or us, something like that, a sense of belonging in that. That is when combined to health, it is always healthy you. So when you are healthy, everything falls in place. And when you are equipped with the knowledge of being healthy, as a woman, we can take care of the entire family. So that is why I decided to go with the brand of Healthy You Global. And again, the short form is HUG. So that is how the logo came, where you start loving yourself. You only when you start loving yourself, you put some effort to take care of yourself. So it's
Right.
not about dressing up, or it's not the external thing. I mean, the internally you should, love yourself. So that's the reason for the brand HUG, which is Healthy You Global.
Right, very nice. And you've got two arms hugging, and as
Yeah.
you pointed out, that it is.
Yes.
So that was about the branding and the name of the
Yeah.
your entrepreneurship and your whole insight, which is about the people.
Yeah.
Tell me, in another life before this, what were you doing?
See, actually, I got into the family business of freight and logistics. That was the only thing which I knew until I was late 30s and 40s, maybe. It came naturally because the family business of freight and logistics was there. And when I started my career in UAE, I was employed in a similar line. I worked in a couple of shipping lines. And then when me and my husband started the freight and logistics firm, so I was helping him there in that. So till I would say 4 years or even 3 years before, I was very much actively involved in freight and logistics. But once I started my entrepreneurship, and once that was taking more time of me, I told him now it's time to make my own this thing. So please relieve me from freight. And so yeah, he was happy, and he was seeing me becoming an entrepreneur on my own. So he said, yes, you are relieved in the next few months. And it so happened that I am on my own for the past 3 years now.
So you have actually highlighted the fact that the family support and
Yes.
their backing is very essential. Any
Yes.
other family members who you think, or any friends who supported and who believed in you in what you were going to start with, who supported you extraordinarily well?
When my family saw my transformation, along with my family, my friends as well, and when I was taking it seriously for a long time, it was not a magical thing of 3 months you lose weight and you give up. And no, it was not like that. It took a while for me to settle down, as everyone thinks that chalo, it's going to be a short while and then everything is going to be normal. No, I was not like that. I was very serious in my own transformation, and I was very serious and keen in learning this. So that is when people around me realized that something she is up to. And I would say that my own journey kicked in the passion within me of helping others as well. So by the end of December, by the end of 2017 December, when I was doing my certifications, I already had my family and my friends wanting to join me and take my guidance. So that gave me really a big boost. Yes, and there are people who are trusting you, and that gave me a good feeling, and that gave me a lot of confidence as well.
So you became your own brand ambassador in a way. And
Yes.
yeah. So tell me more about these certifications, and when did you decide that you need to get a certification and to qualify yourself? What was the reason that you chose to do it?
See, even though you have a knowledge of how to take care of anything, a certification always backs up. So you need to have those kind of qualifications to actually take it up as a profession, because as the law of the land requires that you need to have a proper licensing, and proper licensing will be given only based on your certificates. So I wanted to do that in a proper way. So that is when I decided, and I did the certification, whatever required for this place. And yeah, now I would say I am going to renew my license also for the second year now.
So tell me, Vidya, apart from the fact that people see you, the fact that you transformed, or you've transformed people, and the testimonials, and I watch your page very regularly, as you know that. And
Yeah.
but does anyone actually ever ask you about your certificate and ask you more details? Are you qualified? Apart from the
No.
licensing part, I mean, does
Yeah.
anybody actually ask you
Yeah.
this?
Before doing my own entrepreneurial journey, I was associated with an Indian company in a similar line. So they took me based on my certification, and I would say I learned a lot from them. And I started working under the guidance of some senior people in my similar line. And that time itself, I started getting the visibility. And then when I am living here, I decided I need to respect the laws of the land. So I would say that I was becoming a brand on my own under somebody's umbrella before, and then I slowly transited myself and decided to make my own within UAE and other places. So that is how it happened.
So this is where when people say that personal branding, goes side by side with the branding when you're working with an
Yeah.
organization. I think you're giving being a prime example of that. That you had to create your own personal branding, and
Yes.
you just kind of fell into it right where it should be, rather than trying to create something
Yeah.
different.
Exactly, because I don't have any product or something to show and exhibit or something. My knowledge, my expertise is helping someone to shape up their life. So in that way, I feel I connect more with people. So that is how people were able to understand what I'm doing. And as you rightly said, knowingly or unknowingly, I became my own brand ambassador kind of thing.
Which is a great thing to
Yeah.
have, because
Yeah.
everyone is speaking about personal branding now.
Yes.
So my next question to you, Vidya, you used a couple of times women, and then just now you said people. So who are your main target audience?
Main target audience, if you would ask me to precisely say, then it would be women, predominantly Indian, and then comes the Asian, and they should be in a category of 35 plus till 60 years, because that those are the people who would have experienced what I exactly went through, and I easily connect with those kind of people, because since I was in their shoes at some point of time, I can easily understand, I can give them a comfort level, and that is why I have a specific target. It's not that I don't work with men. Of course, I have helped a couple of men as well to transform. That is when they themselves ask me, you know, they themselves approach. It's not that I go and speak or get it done. So when they get a comfort level, that is where it strikes.
So, one question which comes to my mind is, do people who have issues and challenges only they come to you, or do people who are okay but who know that they could have a tendency towards maybe towards overweight, or maybe towards diseases which are transmitted, like in terms of pressure or diabetes? Do they also approach you, or is it only when
Yes.
people are in trouble they come to you and say?
No, no, it's not that people come only when they are in trouble. Nowadays, a lot of awareness is there among everybody. They have to take care of themselves. At times, not everyone are expert to understand how it is. Even though food and exercises and walking are very, very normal and common terms, always it doesn't help. So that is when people approach for a guidance. So when they take the guidance, it is easy for them to incorporate in their day-to-day life and make it as a lifestyle. And the knowledge what they gain takes them for a long term. So it's not that people come only with certain illness, but definitely people push their level when they are sick or when they are getting into something.
So I'm going to ask you a next question, that people come to you and you go to people. So that's two different things. Everything
Yeah.
is pretty much customer centric, and I know the model that you work on, it's a one-on-one.
Yeah.
So how do these people come to know that you are out there? What are the media channels? What is it that you use to make your presence felt? I know you have a website. Tell me more about what other channels that you have.
Mostly it is Facebook and Instagram, the social media thing. And also people approach me through word of mouth. When someone has experienced my service, and people, their family, their friends, when they get to see them, health is a very general topic these days. So they pick it up from there, and then they approach me. So predominantly it is only these three medias, like Facebook, Instagram, and the word of mouth. And through Facebook and Instagram, I have worked with people whom I have not met at all. So that is something. Initially, it was nice for me. Of course, it is nice still. Slowly, it opened up a way of this thing for me. Like, yes, people, we can work like that. It's not that you need to know somebody. All I want to know is understand their lifestyle and how I can, and the explanation and the comfort level. Once we reach, we start working. And I would say that I have not met 90% of my clients in person.
Wow, that's wonderful, and that goes to speak about how social media
Yeah.
does influence people in their decision
Yes.
when they are purchasing any product or service, and the fact
Yes.
that online.
Yes.
And I was just telling in another session today that technology is a great thing to have because it has definitely brought people closer. Though one says all the cons of technology that people have gone apart, but I think in many ways, I don't think otherwise it would have been so easy for people
Yeah, I
to.
know, I know. Because
Uh,
when I got a message last month from a girl saying that, ma'am, I've been following you for the past 3 years. I want you to guide me. I was like, I have not
wow.
even noticed. She has been following me, but there was never, she was not in my friend list, or there was never a like or a comment or anything from that person. But still, I thought, okay, this is something, you know.
So it isn't so bad when people are watching you then on your
Yeah,
public forum.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that also makes it important for you to be posting on a regular basis on the
Yes.
channels which you're using. So tell me, how often do you post?
Weekly, I make it a point to post at least 3 or 4 times, and mostly I want my posts to reach the people, whether they like or comment or share. That's not an issue for me, but I want them to get a comfort level that yes, this is possible, because many a times people just sit and just think whether is this going to happen, is it even possible, how this is happening. So my message has to reach them. That's all I want. Because any person who is coming to me, unless they have a self realization, it's not going to work for both of us. So my message is very clear to people, conveying sometimes about the knowledge, sometimes about how simple it is to take care of yourself. Sometimes they need a push and a motivation. So it's a combination of all these things. So weekly, maybe 3 or 4 posts I try to make it.
So I would have asked you about how you get content, but you have just answered my question directly.
Yeah, because I know exactly what I have been through, and what kind of guidance I wanted, and what kind of a thing caught me, which is what I show.
And do you blog?
Most of my posts I converted to a blog. See, one thing is that when it comes to content, I have never sat and prepared for it for 2 hours and then wrote it. For me, it just comes instantly when I get that connect. I just sit and make it for 10 minutes and then post it. It's never that I sat, I prepared. It's not my thing. I just, when I get a point to elaborate, or when I want to convey something, hey, this is it, so then I make it immediately and I post it. And since I started my website as well, so I decided to add these as blogs in my website.
But you're not blogging as in the terms
No,
of
not
actually
yet.
sitting and saying, okay, I need to create this and I should write a
No,
blog. And that is not something
no,
which you
that has
are,
not yet happened.
that is
No.
not something. And
Yeah.
do you send newsletters to your
No.
clientele or potential or?
No, because my clientele, since it is only with me and my client, every week or almost every 2, 3 days, we have an interaction with my client. So I definitely did not feel that a newsletter has to go from me. Anyway, I'm there with them for the journey, whatever they want. So it's never happened, or never thought that, I need to send a newsletter kind of a thing. But it's something good. I should think about it.
Yeah,
I
I would
should
also
start
think
something.
that Vidya, maybe you should look at Twitter because I think your short information and tips and all that you give on Twitter, the likelihood of that being having a far reach would probably be good. So I
You
would
know what?
personally.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes a fear restricts me to go. What if somebody comments like that? What if somebody says something like that? Those kind of fear just holds me to go and explore. Anyway, I am busy with my Facebook and Instagram and the WhatsApp calls and the chats and this thing. I really don't get time to really explore those things.
So you've just led me on to the question of time management. Tell me.
Yeah.
As a mom, as a homemaker, as a nutritionist, and as a person who has a business model which is a one-to-one,
Yeah.
how do you manage your time?
The first priority is, of course, for family. I make sure that things are set, and I organize and I pre-plan pretty much what to cook and what plans for that day and any outings. Everything is planned kind of. My clients are across the globe, so the time management is really needed, and I cannot just restrict myself saying that I work only from this time to this time, because that may not be the time for the US and UK people. So I'm pretty flexible when it comes to the client. And since I'm very passionate, I have never put a question off from a client saying that it's not my time. So it may be good or it may be bad, but I am there in for my clients at any time. So then my gym schedule. So at any cost, I will not compromise on that. My time of 2 hours is pretty much important for me, and by then, so everything is set kind of. My morning is pretty early. I wake up around 5:36, and my morning chores are done before 10, and I hit the gym and come back, and then my work is there, so I can pretty much handle them.
So the fitness consultant part, is this where that comes in?
Yes, this also comes into that. Unless we find a way and do it, it's not going to happen. So we need to
Okay.
find a way and manage it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you do Facebook ads, Insta ads? Do you do that?
Actually, just now, recently, I have signed up with a company who said who will help me with the digital marketing and kind of Facebook ads and all that. So that is happening. I would say still there should be a connect with the person
Yes.
who is messaging, and it doesn't happen like, hey, I have this product, I want to sell it, and people coming and buying it. It is something, it needs a comfort level for them to open up with me to discuss about their health, because this is about a health, and especially these weight issues are very sensitive. So it takes time for people to, so I'm just exploring that, how the visibility is, how the reach is. I've got some good responses as well, so maybe it will take some time. So I am pretty much concentrating on being consistent in my posts and showing what I am doing, so and what kind of value I can add.
So a question which I would, if you feel that you don't want to answer, that's okay. But
Yeah.
when you chose which company to do, they should do your digital marketing, what was the kind of promises which they've given you, or roughly, if you tell me, or what was it which made you go with this company? I'm sure you must have looked at a couple of organizations, and what was it about this organization? I'm not going to ask you the name, but what was the organization's USP which made you feel that this could be a correct fit for you?
Very, very good question. I know the person who owns this company. We were very good friends, and in between, due to some distances, it was not, we were not meeting and all that. And then when we established contact again, he came home once. So the moment I opened the door, he was shocked to see me, a transformed me. He was like, "What happened to you? How are you?" He was not even stepping inside. So I said, "Please, you come inside, then we will talk." So when he came inside, he was still on a shock to see a transformed me. So then he immediately told me that you need to be an influencer. You need to reach more people. You need to give a comfort level to what are you doing about it. As such, I had not thought about it. Why? The reason is I am a person who always looks for a comfort level and a connection of people to understand what I do. So when this came from that person, that that sparked, I would say. When somebody who has seen me, who has not doesn't know what I'm doing, when they said this, it sparked me that I have to take this further, and that is how the talks happen. And he is from that background, and so I decided to go with him. because this is something I wanted my website to show the real me, it is not something fakey, or I want to be as real as I am. So I wanted somebody to understand that correctly and take it up. So that is how I went into this marketing and website and things like that. Yeah.
I also think the fact that now you've been consistently holding a same position in your transformation, and because
Yeah.
usually it is it's people revert back to their usual self,
Yes.
or get some other issues, or
Yes.
some other health problems, craving, so many other issues, which according to your the way you lay it out for people, that doesn't happen because you're dealing with their food
Yeah.
on a
Yeah.
regular basis, and which is what your testimonials speak about. I would say that myself, as having personally experienced it also, that
Yeah.
you just play around with the food and you try to understand what goes in. And
Yes.
so tell me, Vidya, for you, how long does a journey last with a customer? So we've come to this, that they contact you, and
Yeah.
you normally don't contact people directly and say you need help. Do you do that?
No,
Do
I
you
don't need, I don't do.
you normally don't?
As I told you before, it has to come from the person, because a health thing, someone cannot push somebody into it,
So it's a
So
pull marketing. It's a pull marketing.
when they approach, we have couple of calls to understand where it is. Sometimes there are people who approach, like young mothers, who have given birth just 2-3 months, and they suddenly, with the changes of their body and everything, they get paranoid and they approach me, but it is not right for them. So it takes time for me to analyze what position they are, whether they'll be able to do it. It's not that just like that for the sake of taking, I take clients. So I understand and I explain the approach and things like that, and that is how the journey starts. So initially I take them for 3 months, because our body undergoes certain changes in that 3 months, and it is good to have a break in between. So most of them, by the 3 months, they will be fair enough with the knowledge and with their achievement of the goal as well. But sometimes, some cases, people, like, say, if they are in diabetes and they want to reduce the medicine, that may not happen in 3 months. So that may need some more time. So I give them a planned break of after 3 months, maybe couple of weeks, and then again we start. So like that, I have worked with people for almost 2 years, and 1.5 years. The longest is 2 years journey. So it was a 3 month and then a break and then 3 months, like that we took, because there was certain kind of a health target that need to be achieved for some kind of illness. So we had to take it up slowly. So the duration depends on what the person really wants to achieve.
And for a regular person, it is three
It is
months. Is
3 months is it yeah 3 months is a
3 months?
very good enough period to understand what you eat, why you eat, and how you eat.
Yeah. So I will
Yeah.
be sharing your website link, like I said earlier on, in the description
Yeah.
box, and I hope the testimonials are also on the website, and of course I'll share
Yes.
your Facebook link, and
Yes.
anybody who wants to reach out to you can actually reach out through your social channels, as you mentioned, and as I'm also going to share. And do you have any other team members?
No, it's
No.
absolutely me and me.
So now with the digital marketing and with your fact that you are devoting your own time, and how do you plan to scale up, Vidya? Where do you see yourself in another 5 years or 10 years?
I have really not thought about it. See, as much as I want to add team members, at the same time, I really feel that I need to be involved with somebody's journey. So, it's not that my assistant is doing or my team member is selling something. People come here for my expertise. So, I have really not thought about where I'm going to be in 5 years, but it's a good thing that I should start thinking about
Because
it.
all said and done, the fact remains that you're creating a brand around yourself,
Yes, yes.
right? And then the fact that you have the success story, and maybe there are going to be more people who are under it. There is only so much time that you have at the end of the day. And there's only so much interaction that you can, how much ever you push yourself, there's only so much which we can do at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So, but then definitely you want more people to benefit from this. And then in that case, you would look at scaling up and then, kind of making processes which are, you still remain and, then you're the leader, but you are just giving other people the delegation.
Yes.
Like now you've delegated your digital marketing, you're delegating something. And then ultimately it is not about any product. It is about the service and the care that you provide.
Yeah.
So you
maybe I should explore in that angle and find again a like-minded person to join as a team and then take it up. Yeah, definitely a good point to ponder.
Thank you for that. I didn't ask you, do you do live sessions and talk to people? Do you do Facebook lives and Insta lives and all that? And
no,
or even face-to-face?
Not really. I post the videos, but have never thought about live sessions or anything. Somehow I feel I have to break that fear of doing it.
So maybe we should do it together, where I kind of interview and we do it live.
That would be a good start, I think.
Yeah. So that sounds like a plan for collaboration. And
sure, why not?
We will definitely talk more about it. So I have my audience. There are lots of people who I hope would be students or who are budding entrepreneurs or who are already entrepreneurs in their journey, and they don't have much time to devote to themselves and their health. It could be any of these people who are watching us, Vidya. Would you like to share some of your mantra with them as to what would keep them grounded?
See, anyone can say they are too busy or whatever it is. At least they will grab something and eat. Be mindful on what you're eating. That is what matters. Anyway, however busy you are going to have your meal. You are going to have at least 2 or 3 meals in a day minimum. So make a wise choice, and that's it. You have to be a little mindful in what is going inside, how much ever busy you are. So when you put little bit consciousness in that, you will understand and you will know where you're heading to.
So a question which I'm going to ask, and I know the answer to, but I want my audience to: do you eat sweets and desserts?
Of course I eat. I love them. They are my weakness. Of course I love them. I learned the art of how to balance it. I have never made my clients starve as well. So of course it's all how we balance it.
Wonderful, Vidya. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and thank you so much. And on that sweet note, we will say bye today. And I look forward to Healthy You Global becoming a company which is global as such, with more people working with you. And I would definitely love to interview again at that time to find out how your journey was till then.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Shambhavi. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.